5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, so before we go any further, I know you agree. And we don't even have to have this pre-production meeting. Gosh, this is like this big giant cradle we got. It's like what a view. It's obstructing. Anyway, best game I've seen. I can't tell you how long. Probably bottom line yesterday. Vikings Bills, best football game I've seen in since the Bills Chiefs. Yeah, is that fair?
Yes.
I mean, and I know you believe so. You okay? Did your heart survive?
I'm still like, just what?
I was at 36,000 feet watching that thing.
Yeah, I thought you were traveling.
I was, and that was the game that you get the New York stations on, and on your TV or on your your device up there, and it was either watch the Titans or who the Bills or the Giants play, Giants Texans, or watch that, and it was like a compelling. Like the lady next to me probably thought I was nuts because I had my earbuds in, and so many times went oh. And I had Kirk Cousins and Dalvin, so I needed that Kirk Cousins touchdown at the end, and he didn't get for me. What an unbelievable game, and what a weekend we got to talk about. Good morning, Merry Monday to you. Look who's back! Like it's that
I know,
guy.
yay!
This guy's back.
Mr. JJ.
Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. How are you?
I'm all right.
You sure?
I'm hanging in there.
We thought you up.
I was worried.
We thought you won the Powerball.
That was the first thing, right? When you
and then you left, and we're like, all right, we understand.
Oh, I would have let you guys know about it for sure. That happened.
I don't know if
I mean, right?
Going to a big party.
You would have?
Oh.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well,
you and me and my closest friends.
All right, then. I mean, whatever that means, I'm down. I'm glad we get invited.
That was our
party.
first thought.
Yeah, no, you didn't show up, and it's like, oh, all right. Well, he was. Did they stop it? Maybe they had a layover in L.A. on the way back from Vegas.
Right.
The first time JJ went to Vegas, he had to go through L.A.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, nonstop flight
to LAX.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he met me in Vegas. I'm like, was I with you on that trip? I wasn't with you on that trip. I don't know.
That one we were.
All right, so I went to Vegas. I went to LA too. Goodness gracious. All right. Boy, do we have a lot today. So 8:00, Danny Gonzalez is scheduled to be with us. Lobos lose big over the weekend in Air Force. Offense continues to do nothing. Aggie football has won 3 in a row. That is bonkers. You can go there. Aggie basketball on the road loses to the Miners in a tight one. Greg Heyer is going to be with us again later this week before Lobos and Aggies go at each other on Saturday in the Pit. Friday night in the Pit, New Mexico beats South Alabama 80-74. Lobo basketball's 2-0. They'll be at SMU tomorrow. It was a good one, JJ, on Friday night. A South Alabama team with veteran big guards. They had a good big, and Lobos found a way. It was New Mexico's bigs. And I called the game on KKOB. Robert was up with football, and after the game, I said both to Hunter and to Richard Patino, JJ, it's nice to have bigs. I mean, what a difference this team is, that it's not just your back court. It's nice to have some bigs to rely on. And both Josiah Alec and Morris Udeze had nice games on Friday night.
The front court was the focus coming into the season, adding that size, adding the Balkan side together. They were really good. I think Jalen House has played like he's had something to prove.
Yes.
The first 2 games, and he has. Because everyone was talking about Donovan Dent, the freshman, looking at who was voted team captain, who wasn't voted team captain. I think he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
You get challenged a little bit. And, okay, there's some frustrations from the fans about it, but that's what you want to see early in the season. You just don't want to have a bunch of games where you're winning by 30. You want to get yourself tested a little bit, even if you don't think it's going to be a test. You realize, there's some good dudes out there, and that's what you saw from Lobo basketball last week.
All right, so we'll get there. That was a lot of the conversation last week was the scheduling, and I don't know, Southeast Louisiana beat Wyoming last night in the Mountain West Conference. Like all these teams that people don't, and it's funny. I was on the road this week. I talked to 4 different athletic directors about this and the way they schedule basketball. And because fans don't know about something, they think it's not very good, and it's just not the case. So we'll get there. But the big story is football, and the Cowboys losing to the Packers, And that Vikings game, you guys. All right, so walk me through it because I'm literally 36,000 feet thinking of you screaming, pacing, yelling.
Okay, so I was just
Can
staring.
I just tell you, I was really glad I wasn't with you. I like you a lot, but I was. Is that bad?
You'd be
that I thought
surprised.
that?
You'd be surprised. Okay, so Kyle was nervous because I was just silent and staring at the TV, and Kyle was like, "Are you okay? Like, why aren't you freaking out?" I was like,
So,
I
which
don't-
point when they didn't score from the 1 yard line, when it looked like they scored, and you jumped around, and then they looked at it, and Jefferson was down inside the one,
That's
and then
when I became silent.
and then Kirk Cousins with the roly, sneaky,
And
whatever.
Bills had 12 men on the field.
What did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it nobody like that? The sneak there bothered me. But anyway,
Yeah.
the fact that I needed him to get in. But
I
um,
understand your frustration.
and then Josh Allen, who can we stop with the Josh Allen's regressing talk? Oh my gosh,
No.
he threw an interception and he fumbled the ball in the end zone. Like he didn't play well. But this whole job, maybe Josh Allen isn't as good, and Tua
when he's
Tagovailoa
good,
is
he's
way
really
better.
good.
Yeah, look, that
Called
game
a
was.
slump.
I think that's
Called
fair.
bad
and
decision making.
by the guy almost didn't play right all week. It was going to be Case Keenum, right? I mean, that's what we were looking at all
And he
week.
was still throwing the ball nice, except the interceptions. But
Best catch you've ever seen, Justin Jefferson.
that's up there with the Odell, and that's up there. That's top.
They got a little
Top.
help because it landed on the
I mean,
defender, and so he was able to not hit the ground.
It was
like the Odell
but
thing was
still-
all by himself going up.
Yeah.
But this one, he was being defended, which I mean, that I don't know that I've ever seen a better catch.
It goes in there with the helmet catch,
helmet catch.
with Julian Edelman's
Yes.
catch in the Super Bowl against the Falcons.
Odell's.
Yeah, Odell was big.
Odell was so stretched out, like backwards, with
Yeah.
full extension,
But-
hand almost behind him. But there were a
But
bunch of them
JJ was
yesterday.
unreal yesterday because you could be like, "What catch?" But we know the 4th and 18 that was the biggest
Yeah,
catch. But
Has he risen to the best receiver in the NFL? I had Nuke Hopkins there. I was like, it doesn't matter who's throwing it,
yeah.
he's gonna catch it. Is that Justin Jefferson now?
So he's in
yes.
that conversation with Hopkins and Adams, and I don't know that there's anybody else
No.
in it. Right?
I don't even know if Devontae
I mean,
Adams is that
does
dude.
does Kupp get to be in that
Adams-
conversation? Or
I think those
Oh.
guys are great receivers, but I don't think I've ever seen Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams
it's just insane.
to that level of stuff.
I mean,
Like for
Stephon
some
Diggs
reason,
had a catch
Devontae Adams
too.
is like always open. Like the
Pretty
the
amazing,
benches
isn't it?
just fall down all the
Yeah.
time.
I
He's
feel like
wide
Cooper
open.
Kupp was like that. I don't know what's going on,
So he
but
got
I
hurt
hope he's
yesterday?
okay. I
What do you
hope
mean?
he's
What's
okay.
going on? I mean, he got hurt yesterday, first of all, and Matthew Stafford.
Not just yesterday this season.
yeah,
Exciting Colt McCoy, John Wofford
Oh,
showdown.
I just, I mean, like,
How do you have zero chance in that game?
And then Colt
That makes
McCoy
no
went down
sense.
for a second, and I can't remember who went in, but I was like, "What's
who
going on?"
cares? I mean,
Probably Cliff Kingsbury at that point.
Yeah, he probably did. I just, I'm not sure what to do with this dang mic. To be honest with you, like,
I do with my
Fancy,
hands.
nice,
is it supposed to
nice
go over
new
here? now?
fancy mic.
Yeah, but it's not because it just obstructs your view of everything. If I put it here, then we got the pro view. I just don't know. We got new equipment in here.
Working
Brand
on
new
it.
mic
I
cradles.
mean, this is nice.
yeah, but this one probably won't just fall regularly.
Yeah, no, they put in. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
The Symbieta approved it.
You like the way I just steer the conversation away from the Rams game?
yeah. We
Wow.
understand. We can.
It was just garbage. It's like it's not even a good watch.
Well, it's
It was a
that
bad
highlights
watch.
what is so wrong with LA. There's no reason that shouldn't have been a competitive game, and it wasn't. It's two backup quarterbacks going at each other, and Arizona was in control of that game. That did not make sense. But then you're like, oh, it kind of highlights who the Rams are this
They
season.
can't run the ball. They got one receiver, and now he's hurt. Their defense is they got a couple of really good players, and after that, they're just not that damn good. You're like, Addie said to me, Dad, how did the Rams what happened? Didn't they just win the Super Bowl? I'm like, yeah, and enjoy it because I'm not sure when this is going to happen again. It's going to be a while. That's why are we talking about that damn game? When I sat around and watched the Packers and all right, Cowboy fan,
Well,
Cowboy fan,
why don't you kick the field goal?
Cowboy fan.
Mike McCarthy.
Well,
Let's discuss.
you talking about in overtime? Is that what you're
When
talking
he went
about?
on from 4th and 4,
Yeah, from the 52. It would have
other
been
than 52.
it would have been a 52-yard
So
field goal
So I guess it's
in the
either way, right?
cold And so then you're giving it back to them, and they're moving the ball, and so they kicked the field goal from where they were. They were going to score a touchdown and win the game anyway. The way it played out, right?
Because that's the first time they had the ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah.
okay. That makes more sense.
I don't know that
it's not as bad as people made it out to be.
Thank you.
52 yards.
That's a long one.
Mike McCarthy just watched his defense get sliced and diced in the second half and give the game away. And at that moment in time, he was more confident in his offense getting a first down, going down to score a touchdown to win the game, than kicking a 52-yard field goal. And then if you miss it, they get the ball in the same spot, just like going for it.
I didn't know it was 52 yards.
Yeah, it was 52
why were
yards.
people? Why were people freaking out?
I don't know, because that's what people do. I look at it,
and it was Mike McCarthy making the choice.
And that's right. And so here we go. You haven't been able to jump on Mike McCarthy for the last 6-7 weeks like you like to, and it's a hobby for people. And it's just he's got to stink. They didn't lose that game because of him. Their defense wasn't very good in the second half, obviously. And all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers remembered he's Aaron Rodgers. And he found himself a receiver. But I just, with all due respect, I'm not just getting ready to blow that whole thing up on him. And I know it's easy. So then he misses the 52-yarder, and they get the ball at the 42-yard line, and you're saying, why the hell did he go for it? Or why did he kick that field goal, right? And Aaron Rodgers, and they walk down. Is that call in the air? Why is that call in the air? Or is it gone now? What was that all about? All right, well, all of a sudden there was a call in the air, JJ. It's been weird around
Hello.
here, man. It's been, with you gone, I just didn't know what to do. And then A-Marie was changing seats mid-show, and Steph was coming out of the bullpen. I'm just glad you're okay. Now, the thought of that you win the lottery, and that was the reason you weren't here, was kind of cool, though.
Well, that would have been nice.
Yes. Did you play the lottery? Did you stop in LA?
Not the recent one.
That one. Not the one that would have paid the $2 billion. All right. Am I due for? And we are probably break time. All right. Here's the deal. Like we're going football today because there was so much, but. And there's a few buts in here. If you want to talk about the Lobo women's basketball, big bounce back win on Saturday against Houston, and Amaya Brown's big game, you can do that. If you want to talk Lobo basketball and their big victory on Friday and their 2-0 start, you can jump in on that. Aggie fan, you're welcome to get in. Your football team has won 3 in a row for the first time. Well, it's 2018. That was the bowl year. But their defense, JJ, Aggie defense overall is 35th in the nation. They were like 119th last year or something crazy like that. And you guys can hold back with, oh, yeah, but who are they playing? I mean, teams that were better than them last year. And they're holding their own. By the way, they played 2 Big Ten teams. That all factors in. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 Big Ten teams. Next up, they're going to the SEC. If you want to talk about Lobo football, their loss.
That right there.
You see where my hands are, right? Yeah.
Just have to turn off the phone pod.
All right. So we're haunted. Like we got a ghost back there.
That right there.
Yeah.
Sums up Lobo football.
Yeah. I guess that's where we are. All right. So it's all on the table for you. Cowboy fan, though, you got to come in. Raider fan, are you done with Josh McDaniels? Are the Raiders done with Josh McDaniels? My brother, big fan, big Raider fan. And his response to me yesterday was, they just look like they don't want to play for that guy. Like, and he's over Derek Carr. He's like, I'd like him, but it's over. It's got to end. And so we'll go through the winners and losers today as well. Man, there's a smorgasbord of stuff to talk about. Everything's on the table. We talk about the Pac-12. Oregon and UCLA go down on Saturday. What on earth? We're here for you. Numbers, 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. That's the text line and the phone line. Emails Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, JJ@sportsanimалabq.com. Adrian's producing. We're on television, on a visual medium on Comcast Channel 26, ProView Network's YouTube channel, and our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. We come back. I want to talk more about the Vikings game, and let's get into the Cowboys game. And Dolphins scored 39 again. Who's the best team in the AFC? Well, they're still the Chiefs. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. we fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because what's animal?
I never know what chair I'm going to sit in, or like so many people use this studio just like as an office, or So I never know what condition I'm coming into. It's just like coming in, right? And you've been gone for a week. It's like you never know what you're coming into when you walk in here. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you. Cowboy fan, where are you? How you living? How about you, Bronco fan? How was that?
Expected.
Yeah, exactly as expected.
It
right?
was. That's
17-10 Titans.
Terrible offense. It's broken. Down to your third-string center and right tackle. They have to rebuild the offensive line. And you rebuild Russell Wilson. Let's ride.
All right. Did the Vikings win because of Kirk Cousins or in spite of Kirk Cousins yesterday, Emery?
They won. The team won the game.
All right. So I was some garbage coming in this morning, and it's funny. You get an impression of a quarterback and you stay with that impression.
It's never going to change.
So it'll never change. Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, he's just a winner. All he does is win, right? Kirk Cousins yesterday put up 357 yards. He was 30 of 50. He threw the 2 interceptions. Oh, but he got bailed out by Justin Jefferson. I don't know. I watched him conduct drives, and you're right. He got bailed out by Justin Jefferson as Josh Allen got bailed up. By the way, did you see Stephon Diggs' catch? That was pretty damn good. Patrick Mahomes got pretty good receivers. Tua Tagovailoa is all of a sudden the greatest thing ever because he's got Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Like, I'm not telling you he's Joe Montana. I am telling you he's 8-1, and every other quarterback,
everyone gets away with it except Kirk.
It's kind of amazing to me.
And overcoming 2 interceptions and turning it all around, that show. I think that's a good quarterback.
Justin Fields is the greatest thing ever. Now he can't win. Well, yeah, but he's got nothing around him, and you see him, and he's great. And look, my eyes tell me what I see too. At what point, like 8-1? Well, yeah, but it's not the quarterback. You know, when the Cowboys are winning, well, I mean, it's not Mike McCarthy. Who was it? Cooper freaking Rush? At some point, and look, Kirk Cousins it's a nice story. And again, I don't think anybody's backing up the truck to go out and get Kirk Cousins.
No.
But can we give him a little credit for what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Where are you on him?
Kirk Cousins is in the perfect position to silence everyone this season. Even if they lose that game, my feelings don't change about the Vikings. I'm not like, oh, they're a bunch of frauds. No, they're on the road. They overcame a 17-point deficit. Yeah. I like the fact that they've won close games and that they've made plays in the fourth quarter. That's going to benefit you more throughout the season than just blowing everyone out, which is nice and you want to do, but it's evident that it's not easy to do in the NFL. Been there, done that. It's the overreaction to the moment. Kirk Cousins made a couple mistakes, but what did he do? He made plays. That's what good quarterbacks do. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He's in the best situation he's ever been in his career offensively with that coaching staff, his confidence. That team believes in him. That's what matters.
Fun, a lot of chemistry on that team on both sides of the ball, too.
All right, that leads me to my next conversation. So I'm listening to Coach of the Year talk. Sirianni. Okay, yeah, he's a first-year coach and they're undefeated. Yeah. Okay. Brian Daboll. All right, first-year coach and the Giants have turned it around.
7-2.
Mike McDaniel, I guess he's singular, McDaniel, with the Dolphins and what they're doing. All right. And then I'm listening for the next. I didn't hear Kevin O'Connell. Mm-hmm. First-year coach.
You're not going to
turn that thing. What? Tell me why.
I don't know, because all I've heard this season is like, oh well, they haven't played a good team except for the Eagles, and they lost to the Eagles.
All right, so they just went in and beat the Bills at their place.
Top 5 team in the NFL. Yeah, in their home, snowy weather.
Look, I get it. They're
on the road.
They're the 5th seed now, as of now. That is widely acknowledged as one of the 2 best teams in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And weeks ago, they're the best team. They're the best team. They're one of the top 3 teams. It's the Eagles, the Chiefs, and them. Pick your order. I mean, and some of you were throwing the Cowboys in until they soiled themselves yesterday. I just look. And what team did I tell you? What was my team on the up? Yeah. All right. What do I got? I don't know what I got into. Speech is here, right? Hello, Speech.
Jeff, how you doing, New Mexico? Are you not amused? Now, you were talking about Kirk Cousins. I think the best play he did was in the fourth quarter when he had that 20-yard scramble, and he dove head first. Now, that shows a lot of grit, and if the team knows that the quarterback is that determined, they'll all rally around him. Now, you're talking about Coach of the Year. I think the biggest thing about a coach, not only is X's and O's, is getting your players to buy into your message. And he seems to do it. They know in the game they're never out of it. I mean, I was at Viking Club, and a guy behind me was going, "Let's go Buffalo," all game. And then when Dalvin made that 80-yard run, I turned to him and I go, "We're coming." Yep. I mean, we are determined. We have a great team. And, you know, on that 4th and goal at the goal line, Harrison Phillips, to get a lot of credit, he put pressure on that center. Center goes, "I got to make a good snap and block this guy."
And he missed him. Yeah. All right, man. It's good to hear you. Your team's on a roll. Thanks, Speech. Look, I don't know where you are, but keep overlooking the Vikings, I think, at your own peril.
They will.
I think they proved it yesterday. They get the Cowboys next week.
No one's overlooking the Vikings anymore. No one is.
I would hope not.
Like, there's no reason to. If you want to say, "Oh, I'm not ranking Kirk Cousins here or there," that's fine. It's still a team that trusts their quarterback, a quarterback that's made plays late in games. And no, if you say no one's talking about it, we're talking about it. We're putting it out there. Vikings are right there in the mix because it's Philadelphia, it's Minnesota,
absolutely,
Tampa Bay, and Dallas. Like, who else do you trust? There's 4 teams in NFC. They can talk about going on a run. And the 49ers, don't want to forget them even. They came back last night, won late in the game. That's what you got to do. But Coach of the Year, I think it's Kevin O'Connell, Brian Daboll, Mike McDaniel. I'm looking at the first year coaches. Absolutely.
Can we throw Pete Carroll in there? I mean,
why not?
Yeah. Look, we're not even halfway through. All right, if you're there, stay there. I got to take this break and stay relatively on time. Going to the phones, we get back at 505-246-0610. Cowboy fan want to hear from you. Lobo fan want to hear from you. Steelers got to win. Huh? I saw a Steeler fan yesterday. He was kind of happy. It's been a while. In the late game, they Charger. That's what they do. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures.
The right lane is blocked because somebody
Great
decided
futures
to
start
get
here.
a car wash from AFR. Their car
We
was
would
on.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do
This weekend. World San Jose State, they got bowl eligible. That'll be Friday. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock. We'll talk a little bit football. 505-246-0610. We're in on the NFL today. Giants won again yesterday. 49ers won again yesterday. Titans won again yesterday. Dolphins won again. Oh, and we got to talk about the mistake that was Jeff Saturday and how everybody is just unloading on Jeff Saturday. You know what he did? What I tell you, Amory, who was the team that had to win this weekend? Had to.
The Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a bleeping mess. 505-246-0610. Rudy, good morning. How you doing?
Good. I don't know if I have enough time to go through everything. What a sports weekend,
Sprint
you know?
it. Go.
Yeah, well, did you take Michigan in the points? Because if you did, you won.
That's a lot of points.
That was pretty impressive. Nebraska scored 3 points. And you got to give props to the Lobo women. I went out to the regionals Friday and watched the women run. That was incredible.
Another
they
championship.
Basically blew the competition away.
That's what they do. Yeah, they're that good. Yeah.
They're poised, you know, and they're going to Stillwater, which I think is a good place for them to run. So good luck to them. And, you know, it's maddening. I'm trying to watch the Michigan game, the Lobo football game, and listen to JJ and the women play Houston. So I think I got a little, what's the word there?
Sensory overload?
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, I think I might be bipolar now or tripolar.
All right.
I'm trying to do all 3 things, but I really was impressed with the women because I think Houston just came in and really just tried to out-physical UNM, and Amaya Brown stepped up. So that's good news because if they would have lost and started 0-2, that would have been bad. The men, they look good, and they're playing good teams. And, you know, people can say anything they want about, oh, I don't know who this team is, but Patino does, and he knows why he's scheduling these teams. And if you need to look any further, look at what happened to Wyoming.
Yeah, they're without EK, man. So the word on that is he's due back around league play. And JJ, I'm hearing Isaiah Stevens is going to be back too, which is really good.
They'll be back, but it just shows you how, you know, basketball teams live on the edge, and all sports teams live on the edge. And if you don't have the players, you can't do anything. Pro football was just off the hook.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Amory watching the whole Bills Vikings game. That really was, I've never seen a catch like that.
Yeah.
To go up and get it with one hand. The guy's got the interception. The Bills guy has the interception. Yeah. I don't know how Jefferson made that catch.
And
I'm
in
still
the
trying
situation,
to figure that out.
And in the situation, right? It wasn't just a random first quarter catch with the game on the line to go up and do what he did.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I'm wondering why the Bills just didn't take a safety and punt, because
so were they.
I think at that point that wins the game as opposed to trying to hike the ball from your 1-inch line. And if you're going to hike it, maybe you go shotgun. Maybe that's the time you go shotgun. And Allen can either throw it away. I don't know.
I don't think it was the wrong call. They just didn't execute. How often do you drop the snap? He dropped the snap. You go 4 yards deep. You're giving him a better chance at a safety. I think there was still 40 seconds left. So you're punting it back to them. They can get a field, or they can score. I don't think it was the wrong call. It just didn't work. They just fumbled the damn football.
Yeah, you just wonder there. Don't you take a safety? Don't you think about just taking
not on
a
that
safety
play.
and you win by one?
No, because then you're giving it back and they got 40 seconds to go. I don't know that you win. I mean,
Yeah, but they had no timeout.
I suppose what
Jefferson.
did Josh Allen do with no timeouts? He got him down for a field goal to go to overtime.
Yeah, that's just insane. It was a great weekend of sports, and then you top it off with 2 hours of Yellowstone.
Yeah,
Does it get any better?
You got a good weekend. Rudy, great to hear you. We'll see you during the week.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Take care.
505-246-0610. Who's on one? All right. Do I have time for that? All right, let's do that. Edward, good morning. How are you?
Top of the morning, little overreaction Monday. The New Mexico State Aggies and Jerry Kill, 3 straight wins. And my prognostications, Jeff, I told them they would regret that when they laid down against that Florida team. They would potentially be a bowl eligible team. Potentially.
Well,
had they not laid down that week.
Yeah, if they would have won that game and then they could find a game to reschedule, they could be looking at 6. And look.
What an amazing job. What an amazing job.
What's the spread at Missouri this week? Do you give them any chance at Missouri this week? None?
No.
All right.
But it's okay.
Because I don't think
they've made significant progress. Hey, I'm not going to rub salt in wounds. I'm just going to talk about Merrick prognostications earlier this year. I told you before the season started, more probable. Rams go back to the Super Bowl or miss the playoffs.
Yep.
Pressure might strike again, and that's okay. Things fall apart quickly in the NFL. They fall apart quickly, which throws even a more greater emphasis on the 20-year run the New England Patriots had for sustainable excellence. Dak Prescott, right now, outside of the NFC East, in his career, he's 30-28 outside of his division. He's not bad, but he's not the guy. And it's not his fault. A lot of variables. I think we might have overrated that defense a little bit. They're a little light in the loafers and got pushed around yesterday. And the league's going to flip. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers solidly up 4-2 scores against a very good Seattle team. And they try to run a play where they try to throw to Tom Brady when the game's essentially over. I almost broke all 8 of my TVs at home. And the stupidity, the utter stupidity of play calling that changed complete momentum of the game. And then in the next series, he's on the verge of breaking the NFL record for consecutive passes without an interception, and he throws into triple coverage, and I'd had it. That team has slept walk through the last 28 games, 19 last year, and their first 9 this year. They've completely slept walk. And now they have a little momentum, so let's see where it goes. Bill Belichick always says this. It's a great quote, and Daryl Johnson actually referenced it yesterday during the telecast. Most games are lost and not won, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Most games are the Buffalo Bills, and I love the Vikings. So I'm rooting for them hard. They were up 17 in the third quarter, 14 in the fourth quarter, throwing picks in the end zone, dropping, fumbling snaps. But the other team has to do things to win the game. And Jefferson was amazing. Cousins is doing a great job. And I hope they get the 1 seed. I really do. But again, just watching what transpired all weekend, even with Mississippi over Alabama, most games are lost and not won. But it's entertaining. We're hooked into it.
That's right.
And I think it's fascinating.
All right. That's great.
Anyway, thank you for letting me share a few thoughts on the weekend. You guys have a great day.
You too. You know what I got out of that? What, was he on 1 or 2? I don't remember. All right, 2. I'm thinking. Did I dump the wrong call? So I got this one on there. That's with no names there. Yeah, I know. Chad call back. Sorry about that. You know what I got out of Edward's call? The humble brag that I got 8 TVs. That's what I heard. That's all I really heard.
I got 8 of them.
Yeah, well,
and that Patriots punch right
there.
Yeah,
all I heard was one of my 8 TVs. I almost broke all of my 8 TVs. That's what I heard. Our games lost more than they won. Probably. I just but it's amazing.
There's an element of both.
I agree with that.
Yes.
It's amazing what people will give credit to and what they won't. You got your preconceived notions, and if you like a quarterback or you think a quarterback is good, I don't know. I don't hear anybody ripping on Justin Herbert for being 5-4. Do you? Now he's without his top 2 receivers yesterday, but that doesn't seem to matter to most people.
No, I cooled a little bit on the Chargers are going to Charger because I'm actually looking at that team, and as much as we're going to rip Brandon Staley, and we all believe he'll be a coach on the outside looking in at the end of the season with Sean Payton out there, and everyone looking like they're playing really hard.
That's what he said. Yeah. What do I got, Chad? Is that what you
They're
said?
down to 3 healthy defensive linemen. At some point, that is real.
No, at some point you gotta have horses to go. I agree. What's up, Chad? Sorry about that.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's happening?
Was watching the Cowboys game yesterday and had some thoughts about that.
Yeah.
You can obviously there towards the end of the game. I going to drop a couple thoughts about the calls. I thought there was a questionable offensive holding call, yet to the same degree of the offensive holding call. If you're going to call it out, why would you call the defensive pass interference call?
Yep.
And they were about pretty much equal in their breaking of their being obvious pretty much on either one. So I think you got a little home field advantage there. But I don't like making excuses. That's just stuff like little things. I feel like Dak Prescott. It's like he gets a little panicky with his feet. He gets a little jumpy, and it tends to happen in moments where we need him to be that $50 million quarterback. You're the franchise quarterback. We need the calm. We need that kind of resolve. And he doesn't. There's moments where he's got that, but I've seen too many moments where he gets just kind of jumpy feet, and I don't really feel too confident that he's going to make the right play. And that 4th and 4, I was just sitting there with my friend. He's like, "What should they call? What should they call?" I said, "Just do a quarterback draw. Like, just he's in shotgun, find a lane, get your 4 yards. Don't throw it." And of course, they try to throw it. And I think somebody needs to sit down Dak, the quarterback coach, and just say, "Here, man, do you know how good you are at running the ball? Do you know that you can get by most defenders to get 4 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards?" And he sometimes forgets that, what he can do well. And, then also just saying, here's what we don't need. Just kind of, turnovers are going to kill us. Look at what happened with Cooper Rush.
Right.
He wasn't
turn
as
over.
explosive as Dak, but he didn't make mistakes, barring the final Eagles game. And somebody just needs to sit him down and say, look, this is what you are good. We like you. This is what you can do. Believe in yourself that you can do that. You can beat most defenders, and you should be able to do that. Let's do that for 4 yards, bud. Yeah. And but we don't need. We also need to don't force the ball, or let's just play a little better. I don't even think he forced the ball on 2 of the interceptions. I just think they were bad passes. But his confidence, a little bit. Sometimes his confidence, I think, is and his identity. What is good, what he does well, and what he's not doing so well. Kind of need to be a little more laid out to him a little bit.
I think it's good analysis. Chad, appreciate the call. Thank you. I think it's fair. Dak has got to. It's time, right? That's a game.
Got to close it out.
And that doesn't even feel like it was a big game. But it feels like it's a big game because they lost. They'd have won. They beat a team that has lost 5 in a row who was just stumbling. I mean, we were sitting here last week going, well, if the Packers lose their next 4 and they're going to, then do you bench Aaron Rodgers and you play Jordan Love and see what you got? And, Rodgers heard that crap last week too, by the way. He played pretty well in the second half. He found himself a receiver when he needed to find himself a receiver. This didn't even feel like a big game until now that they lost. It feels like a big game, doesn't it?
Yes.
Dak's got to start winning some big games.
Yes.
He's been paid to win big games. He is expected to win games. I do believe he's got enough around him to win big games. Don't you?
Yes.
Amari Cooper's gone. He still has receivers.
2 scores in the second half at Lambeau.
We've seen more 17-point leads. I think that theirs was a 14. Vikings was 17. All year long. Raiders have
every Raiders game, they lose a double.
Raiders blow them every week.
Did you guys see Derek Carr's post?
So I was
game?
looking
I
for
thought
it, and
he was
I read about it. I didn't see
I
it.
was a little nervous. I was like, is he going to cry?
I think he's realizing what's happening.
Oh, it's
I
bad.
think he realizes it's over.
It is bad.
Yeah, I think he realizes it's probably over for him there. And as much as he wanted to go down in his legacy being a great Raider quarterback, I think the Raiders are. I don't know if they have a choice, do they? I love Derek Carr. But I think that's about over. 505. I mean, don't you? I think they're gonna have to go a different way. He's not playing well. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just don't think he's playing well. And that team is bad, and they shouldn't be bad. Business owners, you get it. Computers, your network, your remote access, it's all vital to how your business operates. And now hackers threaten everything you do. ABQ IT provides state-of-the-art cybersecurity. More and more business owners realize that is a necessary part of protecting your data. So ABQ IT created a business model that gives you peace of mind, knowing your system's secure. They watch for any activity that's malicious. They protect your operation, keep it working efficiently, and best of all, they do it at one predictable monthly cost. So do you currently get several bills? One from your internet provider, one from cyber security company, another when you buy new equipment. With ABQ IT, there's no hourly rate, there's no labor billing, there's no hidden fees, there's no out-of-scope charges. Your rate is predictable, and it will not change. You own a business, get a free assessment from ABQ IT. Don't worry about your computer problems again. ABQ IT is taking care of businesses all over our area. Give them a call, get a free assessment. It's abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashkin's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escapes the first tackler, breaks a tackle. Nothing but green, rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line is where this one will start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
That reads out by State Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it! He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it!
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh, my goodness.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Just search KNML.
All right, Chargers get beat last night. Niners with the victory last night. Cardinals over the Rams in the late games. Cowboy fan, you're struggling. Packer fan. So did that save the Packers season? So I'm not sure I'm ready to go that far. I guess it saves it for another week.
I mean, they're tied with the Lions now.
They're a game ahead of the Lions.
They're ahead of the
Lions. They're a half game ahead of the Lions. They're 4-6. The Lions are 3-6. How far? So if you look at wild cards right now, right now your division leaders, Eagles, Vikings, Tampa Bay, and Seattle. Your wild cards right now are the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Niners, and Packers are just a game back of that, a game and a half back of that, 4-6 to 5-4. I mean, I guess I'm not.
Can't count them out.
I'm not willing to tell you it saved their season.
Put a Band-Aid on it.
That's a good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Give them crutches. Yeah, they get the Titans and the Eagles next, and the Bears next three. I mean, I don't know. Jess is a Packer fan. Did it save their season? Good morning, Jess.
Well, you know what? I'm selfish, and the Packers have disappointed me this season so far. But I'm going to tell you what. It saved my season because Jeff, it's my personal Super Bowl.
That's right.
Honestly, I think if the Packers went 1-16, but they beat the Cowboys, I would still be happy at the end of the year. Like that, you don't realize how much joy. Maybe you do. It brings me so much joy, probably because the amount of junk I talk, and the Cowboys still can't get it done. In the season that you probably should have beat the Packers. And the best part is, one of my best friends from my childhood, third grade, Paul D. Henry Elementary School, right down the street from Robertson High School, my friend Brandon Gallegos, who was at the game
BG.
as a Cowboys fan, as a Cowboys fan, with his mom. Oh God, what an amazing trip! Sometimes I just think about how much that makes me happy, and I think I might be a bad person.
Yeah,
I don't know, Jeff. Does that make me a bad person? The amount of joy I get out of that?
It makes you a real fan, which probably makes you a good person down deep. No, because you know that they would feel the same way if it went the other way.
Exactly, and the best part is it just still can't go their way in the season, and it probably should. But this is why we're addicted to the NFL because of, and we almost say this every weekend because it's so unpredictable, and the games that there's going to be a game that's amazing, and I'll tell you that the Dukes that were thrown in the Vikings-Bills game was phenomenal, and just that atmosphere and everything about that. Unfortunately, the Vikings win. It's new territory for them, I suppose. So we'll see how they handle it. I still don't have faith in them, but what a great weekend of games, and going forward, we're going to see what happens, Jeffrey. I love it, and this is why we love the NFL, and we'd all take it every day. I'd watch a crappy Tuesday night game. I would.
Sorry. And I bet on it.
Well, we do. I guess we watch them on Thursday nights, but, I mean, what's the difference? We do. We already do.
I mean, I want to feel bad for Al Michaels.
Yeah,
that guy.
I kind of do.
The crappiest games he gets every week. But then I'm like, what did he get, 50 mil
Right.
a year?
Yeah, I'm
Think
like,
of
I
the
don't feel
bank
bad.
account.
Yeah.
Al.
I don't
and he
feel
gets
bad.
the
Chill out.
Does he get the Packers this weekend? Aren't they playing Thursday night?
Packers Titans.
Yeah,
Packers Titans, yeah. See the crappy games he's get Packers Titans this weekend.
Like, relax, old man.
Well, hey, let's. We haven't got to the game
he
yet.
sounds
This could
pretty
be like a
relaxed.
9-12 barn burner.
Yeah, it might be.
He's got to see the Broncos 2 times too.
That's right. That's right. And they had another
That
17
game was great.
Not really. All right, man. Enjoy the week. See
Thank
you
you, boys.
later.
And a Marie.
You don't feel too bad. Amazon's paying him just fine.
It's like the bank account.
All right, when we come back, Lobo football, they lose 35-3 at Air Force. Next up, Friday night against San Diego State at home. Danny Gonzalez is their head football coach. He's going to be with us when we return. It is your opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, Adrian, a 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons.
It will be senior night for Lobo football this coming Friday. Late start. San Diego State will be in town. Aztecs coming off a impressive. All of a sudden, San Diego State found an offense. Maiden, their quarterback, who started out as a defensive back, had a big game, threw for 3 touchdowns. A big left-handed quarterback you're going to get to see. Aztecs beat San Jose State 43-27, so they come in here hot. Lobos coming off of a 35-3 defeat at Air Force on Saturday past. It'll be Friday night at University Stadium, and it will be senior night. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Conversation with Danny Gonzalez. Sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. If you need legal help and someone who really cares, call Rudy at 505-242-5500 and make your legal problems go away. Danny Gonzalez, head football coach at UNM, joins us this morning. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning. We're actually getting ready for practice here in a little bit, so we're doing okay around here.
Rough one up there, and the offense continues to sputter, and we'll talk about whatever it is defensively, but I know you keep going back to the drawing board and finding ways to move the football. And what was it, 172 yards of total offense? Obviously, just not going to be enough. So when you look back at the tape, what do you see?
Well, obviously, I mean that's where the disparaging on the offense is killing us. I mean we had the first we had a 3rd and 5 on the first one where Zeke Daniels broke a 65-yarder. They made a nice play and got down the end zone, and they were up. Then they scored another drive. 2 drives later, they scored to make it 14-0. We had 3 opportunities with the football to score some points to try and stay in the football game, and we're unable to do that. And if you can't score any points, I mean, you have no chance. And we weren't moving the ball. Give Air Force credit. I mean, they played really physical, and that was our kryptonite on Saturday. I mean, we couldn't get the ball in the end zone.
I was on the sidelines, and Zeke Daniels scores that first touchdown. He takes 2 steps left, comes back right, got 2 good blocks on the perimeter, and he was gone. And I don't, maybe this is just the people I was standing with, but there was like a deflation on your sidelines. Like, man, how are we going to score points to come back? Did you feel any of that? Is your team still there? Are they starting to now question, can we score enough points to come back in games?
No, I thought they fought their tails off for the remainder of the first half for sure. I mean, it was 14-0. We had an opportunity. I mean, they didn't score any points in the second quarter. We could have put the ball in the end zone, made it 14-7, or even get down there and get some points on the board. I mean, you still have a fighting chance. Now in the third quarter, I think as the game progressed, as we weren't moving the ball and staying on the field on offense, I mean, they had 37 minutes of time of possession, and when Brad Roberts started getting going in the third quarter, I mean, that was when the fullback gets going. Yeah. You got almost no chance.
He's a horse. 163 yards and 29 carries for their stud fullback, Brad Roberts. He's Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at UNM.
Well, Danny, you came into this season, you retooled the entire offensive line, and you've gone through some injuries at multiple positions. But when you look at that unit specifically, where has the growth been, and what has been the focus finishing the season and then for that unit going into the offseason to continue to improve?
Well, it'll help when we get DJ Wingfield back next year. Our starting right tackle tore his knee, his ACL against Maine, which was in the first 6 plays of the season. And so we had to move some guys around to adjust that. But that's all part of recruiting depth and getting those guys prepared so they can step in. I thought they've made progress. Now, obviously, we didn't play well enough because we didn't run the ball good enough to keep the ball moving and keep the chains moving on Saturday. It'll help getting Issei back this weekend. We'll get CJ back to center, and then we can move Rad back out to tight end, which that's been our best combination since we lost DJ. But I think those guys are progressing. Obviously, we've got to be able to get people away from the box. And when you can't throw the ball successfully, they don't feel they have to. And that was Air Force's deal on Saturday. I mean, we hit a long ball to Jordan Porter with an opportunity to get the ball 21-10 after the turnover, and then we throw it up to Elijah, and one of their DBs makes a good play, but Elijah's got to hang on to that ball so we can put the ball in the end zone. And then if we can loosen those guys up, then the running game works a little bit better.
And Danny, when you look at the offense this season, and you've addressed it, you've made the changes, but has it been, whether it's on the outside or the quarterback position, is it inexperience, underperformance? What are the things you're looking at overall with this offense?
Well, we haven't coached them good enough. Obviously, that's why I made a change, and it's going to be a significant change for the direction of our program, because defensively we're good enough to be competitive in games and stay in games, but you're not going to win scoring under 20 points a game. And in the last 4, it's been 9-9, 10-3. I mean, that's ridiculous. You give yourself no chance. So we've got to get over the next 2 weeks, we got to score points to have a chance to win. And we'll come up. I mean, the kids, the attitude and that they have around here, I mean, they show up to work every day. They showed up this morning. I mean, we don't have guys that are coming in late or dragging or don't want to be here. So their attitude, effort, and want to is the positive thing. They've got to keep fighting. I mean, some of the 12 seniors that we're going to honor on Friday night, this might be the last 2 real football games that they ever play in their life. So there's something to cherish there, to have an opportunity to go out there and compete. We've got to, obviously, to have any kind of a chance, we've got to score points, and that's going to be as we make changes on the staff, that's going to be the emphasis to build an offense as we score 24 to 28 points at a minimum, and then we'll have a chance to win, because if we're giving up 20 points and we can score 24 to 28, we're going to have a chance to win several ball games.
He's Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez with us on the opening drive. Lobo's in San Diego State on Friday night. So I was around the league quite a bit this week, and everybody asked me, what's going on there, and I think you kind of hit it. You can't throw it, you can't run it with everybody in the box, and if you don't have the guys to throw it to, you can't loosen it up. And so I ask, people ask me this all the time, how do you fix it? And I think you've got an idea, but I think it really has got to start with players, right? And fixing it is going to be in recruiting. Is it going to be a change of philosophy too? Like when people, and I know you're thinking about this probably every minute of every day, how do I fix the offense? And what's the answer?
Well, obviously, if you want to be a good coach, you better go get good players, and it starts with recruiting. We obviously have to address the issue that we have at wide receiver. We need a couple more offensive linemen for depth purposes, and then we'll continue to – we won't go down the plan is not to go down the path of another fifth-year transfer quarterback. I think Justin has shown that he's got some ability, that he's got both with his legs, and he's got some talent. He's got some arm talent that we need to continue to develop. And then we'll go hunt up for another quarterback. If we find one that we think is better than what we have, then we're definitely going to recruit him, because obviously you want to be a good coach, you get good players. I say that like a broken record. Now, schematically, we have to have a better chance to score points and do some of those things. And so in the process of hiring an offensive coordinator and going down that path of finding what best fits our philosophy, what best gives our kids a chance to be competitive, and then obviously – we want people to come out and watch the game, so we've got to give them something to come and watch.
Danny, on the development piece of it, too, the young players defensively that have gotten a lot of reps this season, whether it's been in the secondary, the linebackers, what are the things that you're looking at, day-to-day, practice to practice, to help motivate those players? Because I get it. At the end of the day, it's all about the scoreboard. It's all about that record. But individually, those units – how do they keep fighting? How do you keep motivating those guys?
Well, the good thing is that they're young enough and they've seen the success that we've had on defense as far as being able to keep games close and do those things early on. We've got to create more turnovers and make more plays. And there's by no means are they feeling accomplished. Do they feel like they're doing even close to their part? Because the goal on that side of the ball is to hold them to one less, and we haven't been able to do that as of recent. So we've got some young kids that have some really big upside that are getting a lot of reps right now because of, we're just really young on that side, both at linebacker and in the secondary. I think we've got some really, really good players that bode well for the future. Now in recruiting, we need to get a little bit more stout up front. Obviously, we need to find some D linemen that can come in and help us right away. Bryce Santana, Jaden Phillips, Kyler Drake, those guys are getting some very, very valuable reps right now. Then the next part of that for the front guys, linebackers and D-line to be significantly more improved is we've got to continue to get stronger in the weight room. That'll be once we are done with our games here in two weeks. they'll get about a few days off. That's new NCAA stuff. And then we'll get in the weight room. They'll break for Christmas. And then when we get back in January all the way through August, the focus will be getting them bigger and stronger. So we have a lot better chance of being stout up front. And then that helps the secondary and linebackers play better when those guys in front of them are bigger and stronger.
All right, senior night. It means a lot to those 12 seniors. Here come the Aztecs. It's 7:45 on Friday night. And all of a sudden, the team that struggled offensively all season felt like they put something together last week just in time to come in here.
Well, you got to give credit to Coach Horton, Jeff Horton, who's their interim offensive coordinator, who, when they made a change after their Boise State game, he's done a great job in the 5 weeks that he's been calling the offense. And I thought they were really, really good on Saturday night against San Jose State. I mean, they got down in a 14-0 hole, and they kept saying now they're throwing the ball really well. I mean, Maiden has made a significant difference since they moved him back to quarterback from playing safety. And, I mean, I was on staff with Jeff Horton for multiple years, and we won 3 conference championships, and he did a great job with what they're doing. And so they're vast improved over the last 5 weeks. We've got a big challenge coming in. I mean, they're good on defense. They run very similar scheme to what we do, and they've been playing a lot better on offense. So the excitement to playing against those guys, and then they're bringing 2 local kids in Jordan Bird and Keyshawn Banks that are from the Albuquerque metro area
who are contributing.
They'll
in a
be
big
excited
way.
to come home.
And contributing in a big way. I mean, Keyshawn's been terrific on the line. Jordan had another kickoff return for a touchdown the other day, and they're continuing to play well. Are you guys past the emotion with them now? I mean, you and Coach Long, all the years that you spent there, I know you're close with Brady Hoke, their head coach. Are you over the emotion, or will there always be a little something when you play San Diego State?
Oh, no, there's always something. I mean, they're one of the best teams in this league right now, and they've been perennially for the last 8 to 10 years. So that's always exciting because you get an opportunity to play one of the best. And then obviously we have a connection there from being there for 8 years, and Coach Long being the head coach and being a coordinator for 2 years prior to that. So there'll always be that connection, but it doesn't matter who you're playing. The object is to go out there and compete and try and win the football game, and we'll get our kids prepared to go out there and have the best opportunity. We play hard. Be a very competitive football game.
And how about these seniors who are playing their last game?
You know, there's 12 of them. A few of them have the opportunity to come back because of the COVID year. But like I said earlier, I mean, some of those guys may never play competitive football again. And so the opportunity to go out there and compete and put on the pads and go out there in your home stadium for one more time, and then we'll finish it up in Colorado State. I mean, it'll be an emotional deal for some of them. And then once the game starts, it'll be an ordinary football game. Go out there and play your tails off.
Always appreciate the conversation. It was good to see you up in Colorado Springs this week, and we'll see you this week. And good luck against the Aztecs on Friday. We'll catch up with you again next Monday.
Thank you. Come on out and support the Lobos. I mean, I know there's a lot of people at the Cherry Fridays that have been awesome. Come on out. I mean, it's going to be a little bit chilly, but that's good. It's a November evening. We get an opportunity to play a couple local kids, and I mean, our kids are fighting their tails off. So come on out. Keep the faith. Go Lobos. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Danny. Danny Gonzalez, head football coach of the University of New Mexico. The conversation was sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Personal care for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. You know, I was thinking about this game Friday night, and I've got all your emails. There's a reason I haven't read all the emails on, well, I mean, attendance is going to be. I was at Colorado State on Saturday last week, and it was cold. It was cold. And they're 2-8, just like New Mexico is. And they had 25,000 people there. And you can tell me, well, they got a beautiful new stadium, or they got this. They're not very good, and they're struggling, and they weren't good last year, and they fired their coach, and they've gone through stuff, and people come out. And I was just trying to think, what's the difference, right? I was really in my mind just going, tell me what the big difference is. Well, they got a new stadium, Jeff. I don't know. Are you going to go out for the new stadium? It's just, do they care more? I hope people come out and honor these seniors, and if you like it, go out. If I'm not the guy who's going to beg you to go out to games, but I'm not going to lie, it certainly ran through my head the other night.
It was a border war.
Yeah, no, it was a game that mattered.
So I think you could equate that to the New Mexico State game.
Yeah, and there were a lot of Wyoming fans there too. Yeah, fair enough. 505-246-0610. It's open to you the rest of the way. We can talk about Level football if you want. Level basketball is 2-0, off to a good start. They'll be at SMU tomorrow. Women's basketball, Aggies have won 3 in a row in football, and then that day in the NFL, and the best game we've seen since, last year's playoffs. I mean, it was amazing. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Some banks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone.
Right, so text line, you're going Friday is for high school football, period. I buy season tickets to support the program, but I go watch high school football on Fridays. Okay. I mean, that's cool. Look, this is a tough one. They're up against the state. Is it semifinal weekend? Quarterfinal weekend? Semifinal? Semifinal. Yeah, state semifinal. It's tough. They didn't choose to play on Friday. Just so you know, I know you get pissed. Well, why are they playing on Fridays? TV opted for this game. You're part of a conference. It's part of the TV package. It's how it is, man. Enjoy the high school football. The opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, Adrian. All right, so the Vikings are getting a lot of talk on the text line.
Oh, really? Can't wait.
This one from whoever it is says the Vikings' performance thus far is proof that Bill Parcells' statement, "You are what your record says you are," is BS. The Vikings are so overrated. Okay. You'll take overrated, Nate, in one, right? Won't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
just wondering what makes us overrated.
Because you haven't beat enough great teams or something. I don't know. Yep. Because you're just winning games by 3 points and not by a bunch of points. Okay. Like the Chiefs are. I don't think the Vikings are overrated. I think Vikings are good.
They are properly rated.
Well, it depends who's doing the rating. Right? No, I mean, it really does. If you ask a lot of the talking heads, how many teams are better than the Vikings? You will still probably get the Bills, even though they just beat them there.
Eagles, Chiefs.
Promise Eagles and Chiefs. You might get Cowboys.
Dolphins, maybe.
Maybe Dolphins. No. 49ers. Oh. Who's doing the rating?
Yeah, and it's, if you're asking NFL overall, then maybe a few more teams slip in there. But I like to look at these things more of
conference,
because that's what's going to matter. You're not playing the AFC when you get to the playoffs. You're playing the NFC or the AFC in the postseason. And right now, the NFC is 5 teams.
NFC is 5 teams. Eagles, Cowboys, Vikings, 49ers, and
Buccaneers. Buccaneers. That team is too talented to just think they're not going to be able to.
That's the one that I don't believe in.
Make an impact in the postseason.
Of all those teams right there, that's the one that I don't believe in. But that's, again, that's who's doing the rating, right? Whose opinion. All right, this one says, quite typically, Jeff, you ask the wrong question. That's fair. Did Minnesota win due to or despite Kirk Cousins? Obviously, the Vikings won due to substandard Bills quarterback. Okay. I asked the wrong question. So what would the question be? Did the Vikings win because
turned over the ball?
Did the Vikings? What would the question be to get to that answer? Did the Vikings win because of bad quarterbacking by?
I like to use my scale.
Yeah, use it.
Right. It's for every comeback, there's a collapse. Mm-hmm. They go hand in hand. So, what percentage of a comeback do you give the Vikings versus a collapse? This is, to me, as close as 50-50 you're going to get in one of these situations. Because the Vikings had it at the doorstep to win the game. Got stopped on a quarterback sneak. And then Buffalo had it to close out the game and fumbled at the goal line for a touchdown.
So your failure to punch the ball in from the one and their failure to execute a snap, which is, I mean, yeah, those were 2 failures. Right?
So this is one where usually it's like, oh, you can be like, oh, it's 70% collapse, 30% you made those final plays, how you want to rate it there. This is as close to, well, look in the mirror. because y'all made some big time mistakes late in that game.
All right. Lobo football. We just talked to Danny Gonzalez. Ken wants to talk about Lobo football. Go ahead, Ken.
Good morning, guys. So what I did this last weekend is I had the 2021 Air Force game seared into my brain. That was not a good showing at University Stadium 2021. So I told myself when I watched this game, I'm going to see if I see improvement. I'm going to see if we're more competitive, maybe come up with a game plan that would be more competitive. And obviously it's a pretty obvious answer of what we saw on Saturday. It wasn't competitive at all. It was the exact same thing as last year. There was absolutely no chance for us to win that game. Zero. Air Force is basically downing the ball with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter to go into the half. They didn't even try to score, just kind of like a mercy rule. So that's the thing. It's a big ask. It's a big ask for Lobo fans to stay on board when you don't see improvement. I mean, we're not coaches, but we've seen enough football where we say, yeah, I see improvement. I see it. I see where they're actually going with this. And they're going backwards, completely back. That offense has absolutely no chance to score a touchdown. Zero chance. And if I'm wrong, then prove the fans wrong.
Yeah.
Go out there and be competitive. Go out there and score 20 points like he just said in his interview. I mean, that's next to impossible at this point. They can't even score a touchdown. So I understand Gonzalez. He's a wonderful person, and I root for him. I want him to do well. And, I've given him now 3 years. And do we give him a fourth year? Absolutely. We give him a fourth year. But by the end of that fourth year, if we're exactly the same boat we're in right now with no improvement, then what do you do? And I understand people are not out there knocking our doors down to get in here. I understand. But do you just keep going down that road of zero competitiveness?
Yeah, next year is a big year, and they've got to be better on offense. This can't happen year in and year out, and this is 2 years in a row of really bad offense. And I mean, when you're the stats tell you where you're at, the eyes tell you where you're at, the numbers tell you where you're at. It's just you've got to be you can't play football like this and be competitive. And defensively, like they gave up 31 points this week, and it could have been more, I imagine. The defense is on the field all freaking day, and the offense is just not moving no matter what you're doing. And Ken, my thing is, I just don't know that they got playmakers, and that's they've got to go out and recruit some playmakers.
Yeah, and that's on Gonzalez, and he said it was. You're only as good as a coach as you can go out there and recruit, and he said that. He understands. I like Gonzalez. I want him to do well. But then again, real quick, I'll let you guys go. So you have this great defense, supposedly, or good defense. Look how much points they're giving up each week. I mean, I understand they're out there a lot. We lead the nation in punts. I get that. But, when you look at the Bears, and I'm not comparing this to the Bears, please, I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying, look at the Bears of old. They kept their opponents to like 10 points, 15, 14 points, and it gave their offense a chance to win that game by scoring 17 points. We're not even close to there. We're giving up so many points, 28, 31, 34, that, so our defense is the best part of this team, yes, but it's still lacking. Our defense is not wonderful defense holding, teams to 10 points. That's not happening.
Yeah, they're a lot better early in the year.
It's hard as a Lobo fan.
Yeah, and I got
it's
you,
hard
kid.
as a Lobo fan.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks. I was listening. I was in Colorado Springs on. I did the Lobo game Friday night here on basketball. Got on a plane, went up there. Was at the beginning of the Air Force game on Saturday. Stayed for about the first quarter and then had to go up. I went to Fort Collins, Colorado State, Wyoming. So on the way out, I was listening for a while to the Air Force broadcast. And Jesse Kurtz is the analyst. He does a lot of the Mountain West Network stuff. And there was another punt. And he says, Aaron Rodriguez comes out. This will be his, I want to say the number was 67. 67th punt of the year. And he says, in comparison, and whatever the Air Force punter's name is, has punted 15 times. I mean,
the offense is terrible.
When your punter is leading the nation by a full punt a game, in average punts per game, when you that means you've punted 10 times more than anybody else and like 30 or 40 times more than most. You got a problem, man. And that means your defense is out there all day. Now, is the defense great this year? No, I don't think it is. I mean, are they good enough to be competitive in games? Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, I think if you had an average offense, because this is the worst offense in college football right
Yes.
now. With what they've done defensively, you can win a UNLV game. You
Mhm.
can win a Wyoming game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Wyoming's 7-3. That's how they win. They win games like that. By the way, they won the border war 14-13. For Colorado State's one touchdown, you get Colorado State next week. Colorado State returned the first punt. I was standing on the sideline with their athletic director. He went nuts. They returned the punt for a touchdown. Didn't score a touchdown the rest of the day. 14-13. Wyoming wins again. I'll get you through the Mountain West. We'll talk some college football because there was some big stuff in college football this weekend as well. We'll do college football, and I guess you know what, we're gonna push till 9:30. We'll do the winners and losers. Is that all right? Is that what you're giving me that look for?
Winners and losers. I'm waiting on them.
Yeah. Many men and women are struggling with hair loss. Don't know where to go. If you're concerned about thinning hair, you should know about industry-leading cutting-edge treatments to reverse that trend and restore your hair. NuMale helps men and women look better, feel better, get their hair back with professionals that walk you through the process, and then you choose the procedure that's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to regrow hair. FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser, proven to regrow hair. Neograft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. The number for NuMale is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688. We're online at NuMale, NuMale.com. And fellas, NuMale also helps guys all over the country deal with things like fatigue and depression, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction. Their testosterone replacement has men feeling better and performing better. Give them a call, schedule an appointment right here in Albuquerque. 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or online at NuMale.com.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escapes the first tackler, breaks a tackle. Nothing but green, rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line is where this one will start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it! He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it!
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh, my goodness.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
Stuff for you. Gophers said Missouri minus 27.5 against the Aggies. Jeffrey, the referee, SDSU opened at 11.5 favorite over the Lobos, quickly jumped to 16.5. Now it's 14.5. Doesn't seem enough. He says his bookies tell him to pound the Aztecs till it's 21. You just told me that the Cowboys opened up as a road favorite at Minnesota?
Yes.
What was that number, like 1.5?
It's like -2 right now.
Close to 1.5. Oh. All right. Let me do winners and losers now.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
We have to get music for it.
We kind of do before now the season's halfway over.
Mm.
All right. I got my biggest NFL winners and losers. And some of it was like winners top, number one were easy. Biggest winner of the week was Minnesota. I mean, this is easy, right? Biggest winner of the week was Minnesota. Yes. Going in there and winning in Buffalo against a team that everybody thought was one of the best in the NFL, coming from behind to do it, the grit that they had. Did they get some help? Yeah, they did. Did they give some help? Yeah, they did. But easy to me to be where they are now and get them to 8-1. The biggest winner of the week to me is easy. It's the Minnesota Vikings. What's their record? Is it 8-1?
It's 8-1.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Number two, I'm going with Tommy. I bet the number two biggest winner of the week was Tommy. Going on the road to, Germany. They beat back a good team. And when Tommy's putting up numbers. Now, did he throw the interception? Bad interception. Did he fall down, slipping, trying to catch a pass, and then trip a dude? Yeah, he did. But Tom Brady threw for 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they beat a good football team and solidified themselves. And look, they've got the biggest margin of error because their division is so bad. So they're going to slide into that number 4 seed. And they just got to get healthy. But to me, the biggest thing there, they established a running game for the first time this season. Rachaad White went for 105 yards for a team that was putting up historically bad rushing numbers. They ran against a defense that had been good. Tommy was decent. But to me, number 2 winner of the weekend is Tampa Bay. And number 3, I'm going Green Bay. I don't know if they saved their season, but at least they saved it for a minute. Aaron Rodgers found himself a receiver. They came back from 14 down against a team that many were considering one of the best in the NFC. And they came back from dead after losing 5 in a row, and they looked like a team that had lost 5 in a row and came back and beat the Cowboys. I thought their comeback, the confidence in Rodgers, all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers looked like Aaron Rodgers. Their defense made stops in the second half when they needed to make stops. They made a little bit of a statement that we're not dead yet. Now, they might be dead soon. But to me, the number 3 winner was Green Bay. So it's Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, all NFC.
It's a good list. I think Tampa Bay goes back to that final drive against the Rams. That had to be a catalyst for them moving forward. They are far too talented to not be an impactful team in the NFC, and they dominated that game for 3 quarters. Seattle, it looked like the clock struck midnight on Geno Smith. That's the way they made him look in that game. Kenneth Walker did nothing on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle defensively could not stop. You mentioned that run game. They were balanced. They did a good job of using the play action pass more so than they had in previous weeks. So there was an element to just use it. Like, you don't have to run the football to execute a run action, different things in there. Tampa Bay did that. Very strong victory for them, and I do think that easily puts them ahead of everyone else in the weak NFC South.
Yeah.
And they are a team to reckon with in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm not ready to bury Seattle yet. I thought they lost a game in Germany to a good team and had a chance to win it at the end. I'm not ready to bury them yet. I know people are, all right, they're done. That was a cute little run. Geno's done, and here comes San Francisco. I'm not ready to put them to bed yet. But that's it. All right, so I got Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Green Bay as my winners. Biggest loser, number 1's easy. It's easy. Marie, who did I tell you had to win? Like, there was one team to me that had to win this.
The Raiders.
And they didn't. 25-20 at home. Jeff Saturday and that ragtag coaching staff, that, or at least play calling. With all the crap that Indianapolis took this week, with all the heat, and whether you believe it or not, and we can get into it, Indianapolis was playing horribly. He changes quarterbacks, goes back to Matt Ryan. They go into Vegas. You can't lose that game. Yep. The Raiders are 2-7. Derek Carr broke down crying. Looks like they don't want to play for Josh McDaniels. Like that, to me, is one of the worst losses, not only of the week, but of the season. That is a horrible loss for the Raiders. Number 1 was easy for me. Now, my number 2 and 3 losers of the weekend, biggest losses of the weekend, weren't easy because I looked through the whole thing, and when I do this segment, I try to look big picture. You guys, my number 2 loser of the weekend is the Bears. And while they're getting great play from their young quarterback, to lose to the Lions and lose like that, they're 3-7 now. And they're losing games. They lose the Cowboys, they get run out. They lose last week 35-32. They lose this week 31-30. They lose 12-7 to the Commanders. They lose 29-22 to the Vikings, 20-12. Every one of their losses, except for 2 of them, is a 1-point loss. They're right there. Their quarterback's developing, but that's a demoralizing loss to that team. I know it's not a big picture this season loss, but that's a big one. And number 3 was the Cowboys. To go and blow that lead and what that meant. And Dak Prescott's got to win a big game at some point. And while I told you earlier it didn't feel like a big game going in, it feels like a big game coming out. Dak Prescott's got to be able to beat some of these teams. It drops them to 3rd place in their division. They're a full 3 games behind the Eagles now, and the Giants are in front of them. And I thought it was a big loss because of the way they lost the game. So I got Raiders 1, Bears 2, Dallas 3.
Yeah, the Dallas one, it goes hand in hand. You're going to have that sometimes with the biggest winner, then morphs into the biggest loser of the weekend. Bears one is really difficult because you just want to see them close out a game like that at home with how awesome Justin Fields has been the last 2 weeks. Unleash Justin Fields. It's been amazing to watch Chicago realize that they have a really good quarterback. And Justin Fields was my second favorite guy in that class. I think it was hard to push aside the Trevor Lawrence hype of that draft class. But when you look at Justin Fields, he checked every box. He makes the throws. He's as good, if not better, a runner than Lamar Jackson. I haven't seen Lamar Jackson run away from people like that in a minute.
Yeah, he did that acceleration that he's got.
Justin Fields was running past defensive backs. He outran his teammate, which was a top 5 pick, the Lions cornerback, on another 60-yard run. Yeah, they lost, but they have discovered that they have an unbelievable talent at the quarterback position, and that's a game you look at and you say, oh, why can't the Bears close this out? Why can't they close that out? Well, they also traded 2 of their best defensive players this season.
They got to find a way to win a game.
And so now you realize, all right, we're set with Justin Fields. We'll go into this offseason building this team around him.
All right, that's what I got. What do you got? 505-246-0610. You can send text or call at that number, 505-246-0610. Emails, I got a bunch of them, winners and losers, 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
As
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Service.
Animal. Another crazy college football weekend, too. Oregon and UCLA both lose. So it really funks up the whole Pac-12. It's SC really with the last shot to get in the college football playoff from the Pac-12. Oregon loses to Washington. UCLA lost to Arizona. Crazy how it all plays out now. 505-246-0610. Jeff, JJ, Amory, and Adrian. I got a winners and losers song, by the way, Amory.
Oh, tell me.
It was sent. I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah, forward it.
It's
good.
called
For the
Winners
rest
and
of the-
Losers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want
Thank
to go.
you.
Rod said that was old school, Jefferson. Air Force was the way we played footy back in the day. Nothing fancy. Try to get an early lead, pack the football, and watch the other team get demoralized. They watched the clock melt away. When Lobo football dropped behind 14-0, it was over. There just wasn't going to be enough possessions to catch up. I don't know if there would have been enough possessions all month. I mean, you got to score. How about Cormier catching that touchdown pass? Local kid. It's kind of cool for him. For him. Mercenary Time says, go for Jeff. It doesn't make much sense to bring in a Power 5 player if they spend most of their career sitting on the bench. Lobo football needs to get a quarterback who's actually played to compete with Holiday and the 2 hyped freshmen in 2023. I don't see Montez back. You need a quarterback. You need playmakers. You need someone for that quarterback to throw to. You know, here's a crazy part. And everybody's telling me how bad the line is. I think the offensive line has been better this year. Do you agree with that? Better than last year. They're not great.
Yeah, it's better than last year's was.
Really bad.
Really bad. And it's still the offensive line for the worst offensive football team in the nation. And a lot of this, too, comes down to the offensive court. Who does he hire?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he coming from? Is there a player or two that said person could bring with him? So have to watch out for that as well.
David says it's time to pull the plug on Danny Gonzalez' experiment. They'll likely finish 2-10. He'll lose some of his good young players to the portal. And even if the Lobos were to double their wins next year to 4, which is a stretch, I don't think that's enough to give him a 1-year contract extension. Without a 6-year contract, he becomes a lame duck coach in year 5, which is a death sentence in terms of recruiting. Seems like I'm bringing up a lot of what ifs, but then again, that's all we hear from Danny every Monday morning. Okay. On the text line, this says, he's a great guy. We want him to succeed. Give him 1 more year. That kind of mentality will only dig us into a deeper hole. He needs to be done at the end of this year. Gary Patterson or Bronco Mendenhall. You think one of those guys are coming here? They've both been assistant coaches here. Gary Patterson was his defensive coordinator under Dennis Franchione. Bronco Mendenhall was defensive coordinator under Rocky Long. Both had been successful head coaches. I don't know if they both want to get back in. I don't know if any of them want to get here. I know you have a football coach. And I would bet 99%. I mean, nothing's ever 100. But I mean, I'm pretty certain Danny Gonzalez could be a football coach next year. So you can throw out all the candidates you want. I see almost no scenario where you're changing football coaches at the end of this year. And I know you don't all agree with me, but I agree with that. I think he gets another year, and he should. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
I'm Chris. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
They're not that proud of us.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bach.
Mud says Dave Marie Cowboys will beat the Vikings by 2 touchdowns. I'll take that bet. I'll take most of the other sides of Mud's bets. West Mesa's going to win state. Cowboys will beat the Vikings by 2. Would you take 2 touchdowns if we gave you 2 touchdowns?
The
You take the
Cowboys?
Vikings and 2 touchdowns?
No, I think it'll be a closer game than that.
So you wouldn't take the 2? You wouldn't take Vikings at 14 points?
No. It will be a close game.
But so then you're getting 14.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I misunderstood what you were asking me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Was I not clear with that?
No, you were clear. I was
Little
thinking about what Mud was
rush
saying
hour
too.
reference there.
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, 505-246-0610. Good morning and welcome to the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Amory. I want to hit this off the top. A lot of big football over the weekend. Vikings game with the Bills was spectacular. 2 of the best catches we've seen all year. One of the best I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
And may never see a better one. That was unbelievable. The Colts beating the Raiders was there, and we talk about guys who care, and you like guys. Maybe you tend to hold on to guys that you like for a longer time, right? Derek Carr has had an interesting career with the Raiders. He's been a good quarterback, but they haven't won much. He's kind of been associated with that franchise. He's made it very clear that he doesn't want to be anywhere but there, that he wants to. He's taken on the leader role. JJ done a great job with the leader role, guiding them through all the mess they went through last year with the Henry Ruggs situation, with the John Gruden situation, with the losing, and he got better. He was finally being recognized as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. That whole franchise has regressed this year, and Derek's part of it. And after the game yesterday, we're gonna play you this, and it's a weird listen, but as you're listening to Derek Carr, I need you to picture this in your mind. So he didn't come out wearing a Raiders anything. He had a Fresno State Bulldogs warm-up full zip on, and he's just rocking back and forth. He was standing and rocking at a pace. Click, 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 click. I mean, at a rocking pace, left and right. You'll hear him start to cry. You'll hear the emotion. A guy who cares, and kind of sounds like a guy who's starting to see the end of the tunnel on this thing. Here's Derek Carr postgame. So then there's this pause, right? And so a reporter starts to ask a question. He'll cut off the report. And again, just rocking back and forth hard. Left, right, left, right. Here's the That's the payoff. All right, so the payoff to me was at the end. Would you say there's no crying in football? Right? I mean, it was Tom Hanks' famous quote in League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball.
Unless you're talking about your quarterback.
I'm a big Derek Carr guy. Okay, I just as a human being, as a person, again, another guy that I got to spend a little bit of time with and really, really, really enjoy. And you root for and you want to see success. Obviously, he cares so much about that place. This one sounds like, man, it unraveled today. There's calls. Can Josh McDaniels be a head coach? We've had a zillion conversations over the years about guys who are good coordinators just can't be a head coach. Are they playing for Josh McDaniels? To Derek Carr's point, he's had way more success. He won Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator with the Patriots. Carr wants to get there. There's a lot of talk. Look, this is it, man. We got to go a different way. Derek Carr's not going to be the guy. Is Josh McDaniels going to get past this first year? It's a guy who obviously really gives a damn. How does that resonate in the locker room, you think?
Well, Devontae Adams echoed those sentiments himself post-game, kind of calling out teammates, saying that they're not all on the same page. There's guys that are not bought in. And then when you lose multiple games, now this wasn't a double-digit deficit that they lost, but they've...
Like in the past where they've blown 17-point leads.
They've had 3 games with 17 or more point leads that they've lost this season. You just got beat by Jeff Saturday and the Colts, the team that everyone was laughing at.
They were the clown
for the entire week. And by the way, anyone who tried to talk to Jim Irsay now about anything, imagine that dude this morning. It's one where you look at the Raiders and you go, how are they that bad in the second half? How are they missing out on so many of those situations? And there's a lot of uncertainty, not just Derek Carr, because you look at this and go, really, it's Derek Carr's fault they've blown 3 double-digit leads? No. He's a part of the process, but it starts with head coach and quarterback when you go into an offseason about what are you changing, who are you changing. You look at Mark Davis, and the reports were he was the one that made the decision to move on from Rich Bisaccia, say, hey, I want a clean GM, clean new head coach in there. They brought in Dave Ziegler. They brought in Josh McDaniels. So is he going to be willing to pull the trigger already on his decision after this season? So what do you go right back to, Jeff? Then Derek Carr. And is this his last run with the Raiders?
Yeah, and you're starting to think it is. And does Derek Carr go, look, we've seen in the last few years, I've seen more musical quarterbacks than I've ever seen in my life, right? I mean, just the guys that have moved around different pieces and a lot of first-round picks. Now, I mean, the Matthew Stafford thing was, and Russell Wilson were the 2 high-profile ones, but are there moving
There's opportunities.
Like,
Okay,
what will Derek Carr do in Seattle right now with Lockett and Metcalf? And do you think Geno's going to last there? Geno's kind of earned himself, at least at this pace, he's earned himself the job next year, hasn't he?
Right now, yes. You say that. It's a possibility.
Carolina,
I
Atlanta.
take Derek Carr over Geno Smith. I would. Okay. We're talking about trying to be competitive for the next few seasons after this year. There's opportunity. Washington will always
Washington
trade for that guy. What about
New
the
Orleans?
Detroit Lions?
Detroit. What about New Orleans?
New Orleans Saints. So there's plenty of places that would gladly take Derek Carr quarterback.
I look around. Houston's going to need a quarterback. Indianapolis is going to need a quarterback.
And that's where
what's happening in Pittsburgh? Are we sold? Pittsburgh's done.
Not sold.
New England.
But it is still first-round pick. Kenny Pickett just starting.
Whatever. New England, Washington, okay. Detroit, Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans. I mean, there's a lot of unsettled quarterback situations. And Derek Carr, I think.
Would you trade Mac Jones for Derek Carr?
Yes. Wouldn't you?
That'd be interesting.
You wouldn't? I would in a heartbeat.
If you're New England or if you're Las Vegas?
If I'm getting Derek Carr in that situation.
I don't know if it's a heartbeat.
For me, it is. I'm not sold on Mac Jones at all. That's just me.
Still. So there's opportunities. It feels like this is probably just one of those times it's just run its course. Like, you're like all these other teams that take Derek Carr and Raider fans like, I'm done with this dude, don't like him. Because this happens. You run your course.
Because they haven't won.
Because you're not winning games, you're losing games. I don't think they're going to blow out Josh McDaniels after 1 year because that was
What's
the owner's
number?
decision.
But if they're what are they 2-8? They end up 4-13, and players quit on it. I mean,
they'll move the players.
They move everybody but him.
Yeah, I think it just because it's what, and that's the owner trying to prove, hey, this is the right decision. If you're not on board,
I'm smarter than you are.
Peace out. Speaking of right decisions, where I credit Jeff Saturday starting Matt Ryan, it was ridiculous. It was the wrong decision from the get-go to say that he was never going to play the rest of the season.
No doubt. Can we give Jeff Saturday a little credit? He won the game. Well, Jeff, but yeah. No. We get back. I want to get into what Bill Cowher had to say on the NFL Today pregame show. Bill Cowher, the longtime Pittsburgh Steelers coach, lambasting not just the organization, but Jeff Saturday himself. And that whole situation, how it was a shot at the whole coaching profession. We'll get into that when we get back. Hey, are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees or your back? If you've got that pain, I know you are. Pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love to do. It affects your job, your relationship, even simple things like getting dressed, tying your shoes. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue and gives you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, all can be treated with natural biologics from your own body. It's powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. So if you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery or drugs, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no surgery, no downtime. This is all natural. It can get you lasting relief. People are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this week. 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. That's QC Kinetics at 505-226-8688.
Thursday Night Football is prime time and streaming on Prime. And every game is on Albuquerque's home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Titans!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
5.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right. Bill Cowher went off on the Colts. Bill Cowher, the longtime head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, been an analyst and been on NFL Today for, I don't know, a long time, right? On that big pregame show that CBS does. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, and Adrian. So Bill Cowher basically said that the Colts hiring of Jeff Saturday was not only wrong, it was a disgrace to the coaching profession. Quote. Now, let me back you up just in case. I think you're all familiar with this. Jeff Saturday was at ESPN. He's friends with Irsay, the owner of the Colts. Colts fire Frank Reich last week, and Jeff Saturday gets the job and jumps over everybody, and he's never coached before. Cowher on CBS yesterday, quote, "I'm speaking on behalf of the coaching profession. I know for a fact that Jeff Saturday was offered an opportunity to become an assistant coach with the Indianapolis Colts multiple times within the past 4 years. He declined, citing he had a TV job and wanted to spend more time with his family. I get it. Coaching's about commitment and sacrifice. It's not just a job, it's a lifestyle. That being said, Jeff Saturday has taken the position this year as a consultant for the Colts, and he's talked to them weekly from his home in Atlanta. Now to find out in a short period of time that he's the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, overseeing a staff he chose not to choose because of lifestyle. Jeff Saturday talked about in his first press conference the fact that he's going to use this second half to build his resume and see if he can coach in the future. I say to that, what about the assistants on the staff right now? The guys that were there in training camp, the guys that were there early in the morning and late at night, don't they deserve the opportunity? For an owner to hire a coach who has never been an assistant at the college or pro level and overseeing a lot of qualified candidates to build his resume, it's a disgrace to the coaching profession. In regards to how this played out, what happened in Indianapolis is a travesty, end quote. That's a bomb, okay? That's a verbal bomb. Did you both heard that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what did you think?
I did.
Yeah, I know you did. It's your team-in-law. What did you think?
A bomb is a good way to describe it.
The criticism is fair of the hiring, but you also have to remember it's an interim position.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to follow the same rules,
the Rooney Rule,
mid-season, which they will do after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So while it seemed crazy on the surface, everyone questioned it. It was a bad football team looking for a way to salvage the season.
Okay. I told you last week, I'm not ready to pass judgment on him as a coach. Okay? It may work. Steve Kerr came out of the booth, and I don't know, he's been a pretty good coach, hasn't he? He hadn't coached before.
Great example, by the way.
Now, there's not a lot of those.
No.
There's not a lot of examples
But there's
like
not
that.
just one way to become successful at something.
Yes. Now, I agree with Cowher in a lot of respect. It's done a certain way. Guys are told you've got to grind, and this is a tough way to make a living. It's a lifestyle. It's a thankless job. You don't get paid a lot of money, and then hopefully you get a break. And so there's are there guys on that staff who've earned a
What if
break?
they don't want to be a head coach either, though? What if it means that everyone's goal is when you're coaching, if you're a positions coach or coordinator?
but the way I understand that's not the case here. Like that's fair, but the way I understand it, what's going on that staff, that's not the case. That there are guys who wanted this opportunity,
and they might still get it though.
and they may still get it. They just didn't get it here. And a guy that
Irsay hired his buddy. There's no way to sugarcoat it.
That's right.
He
they
hired
might
his
hire Reggie Wayne. They might hire I don't know who the new other coaches are on the staff. But I'm saying
John Fox is there. Gus Bradley's there.
That's who I was thinking about. And then maybe when they go into the actual hiring of the new head coach, maybe one of them will get it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That doesn't excuse the reality of it. He hired his friend.
He did.
It's not, this is Colts suck because they did that. No, he did. Own it. Jim Irsay told everyone to shove your analytics. I'm hiring a dude who just wants to come coach football. But it's also just the interim position as of now, and then they'll have to go through the real process in the offseason.
And you and I talked about this last week. How is it? He walks in and he's got to command the room and sit at the head of the table with all these guys who've been there, and they got to do it. They still got to do all the lifting. There's no way being in that building for 4 days. No. He knows everybody.
Go on the road
now he was a consultant and evidently, and so I'm sure he's watched that team closer than he's watched others. But he doesn't know what's going on in that building, and they don't know him. But may it work? It might. So I'm going to ask the simplest question of all of this. And I know, it's the old boys club. And so let me ask you this. Is it absolutely wrong for the boss to hire his buddy?
No.
I mean, the boss got to the point where, hey, it's my bleeping team. Bleep all y'all. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to contradict myself 15 times in my own press conference and mumble out of my lower crevice. But you know what? It was kind of Irsay putting his finger in the air and saying, this is my flipping team. And yeah, that's right. I hired my buddy. So is that a travesty of the coaching profession? I imagine. But it's kind of his prerogative, isn't it?
It's a problem.
But it's kind of his prerogative, right?
It is, but that's also how you can advance in certain workplaces. There's nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that there's rules in place.
That's right.
Because if that was the case, do you know how small that window of opportunity would be for so many people?
Well, it wouldn't even open for some.
Yeah. And so he's getting away with it because it's interim, and you don't have to go through the process. And so Jim Irsay wins the moment because Jeff Saturday just won a football game.
Yeah.
And so you can do that in season when you're a bad football team. But you cannot do this regularly if you want to be successful in this league.
What do they got? How many games do they got? 8 games? Is that what it is? 9 games? What if he goes 6-3, 5-4? What's the number that he's going to earn this job? Is there a number? They just won one.
A number.
They just won one. Now they beat a garbage club right now, a team that shouldn't be that bad. But you start looking around, that was a roster that we all said, well, they should win that division. They got Jonathan Taylor. They got Michael Pittman. Matt Ryan. What if he starts getting Matt Ryan to play? What if all of a sudden Paris Campbell and Michael Pittman start going nuts and they start winning football games and they scratch themselves with that 7 seed? and they get in the playoffs.
There's the number.
Is that it?
Yep.
The 7th seed. So then you open it up, you do the Rooney Rule, and you give them the job. Well, I mean, it's a travesty, and Reggie Wayne should have got – I don't know. Look, that's why I told you I don't know that I'm ready to make a decision on whether or not he can coach or not. JJ, I agree with you. Like, I was playing devil's advocate. Do I think it's wrong just to hire everybody? I do. In this situation where you have this many guys grinding, now it's his prerogative because it is his team, and he just showed us all that. Is it the right way to do business? Will it typically yield you results? I got to believe it will typically not yield you results, right? It yielded a result 1 week. You get to feel good for 1 week. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Hey, who's watching your home? Good guys watch my home. I went away this week and called IPS, let them know that I was gone, and they came by a bunch of times. International Protective Service, it is highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols that watch homes and businesses throughout our community because property crime's on the rise. Officer shortage continues to be an issue, and IPS has grown since 2006 to where they now watch hundreds of homes, hundreds of businesses throughout our area and keep the bad guys away. You've worked too hard to build what you've got. Do not let the bad guys come in and destroy that. Give them a call, see what they can do for you. Aaron started this company back in 2006 to make Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work. I trust them. I think you can as well. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
Haters gonna hate.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been.
It stands for not for long. We understand that. And I think that's the biggest advantage you can have in the NFL, but also the challenge is you don't have to wait on recruiting classes. You don't have to sit there and go, oh, got to give this coach 3, 4, 5 years. Like, this is what have you done for me now? Look at this season. Brian Daboll coming in the Giants, having them competitive. How quickly you can turn things around. And so that is always a hard conversation. We just sat there running down the list of where's Derek Carr going to be the next starting quarterback? And you Mac Jones in New England, is he done? Well, he's only in year 2. Went to the playoffs last year, but this, but that. Jeff brought up Pittsburgh and Kenny Pickett. He hasn't even started a full season. Are you ready to pull the plug? And that's a challenge because Marie, in this league, you can turn things around relatively quickly. And then so you have to have the pulse. And what we've seen this season is some positive return on in-season firings. Carolina's a bad football team, but they've played better since they fired their head coach.
Absolutely.
Had more competitive games until they saw the Cincinnati Bengals. And by the way, Baker Mayfield is starting quarterback again because P.J. Walker has a high ankle sprain. But you're looking at the Denver Broncos, the Nathaniel Hackett situation. Is that one and done, or you just pull the cord? And this is a league, more so than other leagues, where you don't want to let a mistake fester. You can bounce back more quickly than people realize in the NFL, because the draft isn't just about getting the number 1 overall pick. Tanking for said player doesn't work in the NFL, if you haven't noticed.
No.
There's not a lot of number 1 overall pick quarterbacks that just come in and dominate. So it's not just about tanking, being the worst. So much more than that. And all the awesome stories we're talking about this season and watching that unbelievable Buffalo-Minnesota game yesterday, there's the giant question marks of Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, the Denver Broncos. What do you do? And I think that's fascinating, because how do you find that balance of wanting to give someone a chance, but maybe understanding, oh, this was a mistake?
Absolutely. And gosh, JJ, that's such a good, this is so good. Because I even also look at like Sean McVay and the Rams too. Like, you go all around, because I believe in Sean McVay and I keep waiting for it to happen. You believe in these coaches, but they went all in, and now they're going nowhere.
And that's what, but also I think what makes a ton of sense is attacking the windows of opportunity when they're there. If you're the Rams, they did the right thing. Like, you won a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. It's probably just hard after a hangover to accept that, and then you don't have draft pick for a long time. But what I'm saying though is, man,
you play to win the game. That is one thing Herm Edwards got right. Thank you, Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. So a championship, by the way, that's not a bubble championship. It's not they did it in 3 months, Lakers championship. That was a legit NFL Super Bowl title. That's what you play for. And if you feature, you don't have some draft picks, whatever. But that's the thing about the week-to-week league, is also understanding it is more year to year than anything else. And when you have your quarterback Derek Carr crying post-game, frustrated, not knowing what's going on, when you have a dude coming out of the booth, going from the TV makeup to the sidelines, winning an NFL game.
Winning, yes.
It puts immense pressure on everyone else, because then how do you find that balance of development versus realizing when something is just an outright mistake? And I think that's the hardest question Mark Davis and the Raiders, because he made the decision to go all in with the new GM, new head coach. Josh McDaniels was his guy.
And they were winning last year. And I think we all predicted the Raiders were going to be like a good team this year. Like the AFC West was going to be the hardest division out there. And now just two of them, the coaches, and people are questioning both quarterbacks, but I think it's more the coaches than anything.
Yeah, I'm siding with Russell Wilson and Derek Carr.
Absolutely. Me
moving
too.
forward more so than Josh McDaniels and Nathaniel Hackett.
Absolutely. It's not working. These little experiments in Denver Raiders, I don't know if it's not a little experiment, it's a big experiment. But both these teams should not be in this position.
And did we overrate them to a certain extent? That's possible, but we did just see the Raiders go to the playoffs and feel like with the addition of Devontae Adams, they're going to take a step forward. I think the Broncos offensively, man, that unit, it's not good up front. They're down to the third string center, third string right tackle. At that point, the season, it's make sure Russell Wilson doesn't get totally destroyed and then figure out what to do. Now that at least you have a first round pick, you have some assets to try to invest in the offensive line. But as we're talking about, Jeff, the hardest decision, and in the NFL, it's not just week to week, it's the most year-to-year league we see. It's deciding how long do you stick with someone versus saying, hey, we got this wrong, we need to move on. Because there's no tanking for a top pick. There's no, hey, let's wait and see through 4 years. It's, what are you doing for me right now?
I think it goes to coaches and quarterbacks. Yeah. And I think it goes everywhere. Yeah, were you talking about who specifically?
Well, just looking at the Josh McDaniels situation, Nathaniel Hackett, and then just also looking at how teams in season have responded. Like Carolina's a bad football team, but they fired their coach. They still found a way to be competitive for a couple weeks.
Their coach. They shipped out their best player.
You trade away your best player.
And they're getting better numbers at that position than they did when their best player was there. Dante Foreman's getting better numbers than Christian McCaffrey did.
And just looking at
playing better
in the moment, somehow you're taking a dude that was getting ready for TV, making sure, hey, my head's not too shiny, and then 4 days later, beat Josh McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah, do you think he put makeup on when he coached?
Who?
Jeff Saturday?
No.
I guess he didn't have to buy makeup.
Oh, because TV. Yeah, because of the makeup. I got it. That was funny.
You've been putting makeup on every damn Sunday.
I know, when you're on TV.
I know.
That's really funny, Jeff.
Did he like, hey, where's my makeup artist? Did he take him or her with him? So what's the answer? And I think personalities play into it a lot. Do you like a guy? Do you not like a guy? Did I hire the guy? Did I not hire the guy? Right.
What about the Buccaneers too? I look at that coaching.
Who's to blame now?
Well, with where?
No, I'm serious.
Bruce Arians? They're too loose with Bruce Arians, and okay, and they've been what with Todd Bowles? Mm-hmm. Not as good.
No, but Bruce now you kind of believe in them coming back, right? Yeah. See, I'm not. I don't know that I do as much as some people do. But I look at, you were talking about the Broncos situation. I think they're going to give Nathaniel Hackett less rope because they didn't hire him. Which is what you said exactly about what you were telling me about the Raiders situation, right? Because this owner went all in and hired Josh McDaniels. So is he more apt to get rid of the quarterback and the coordinators? And because, he's all in on the coach. It's his guy. I don't think there's a one size fits all when it comes to this conversation. I think that personalities, because you know why? Because we're humans. Human nature plays into this whole thing. The Derek Carr thing, if Derek Carr was a prickly jerk, he'd have been gone from that organization a long time ago, right? But his personality and his leadership really endeared himself to the ownership there and that fan base in the locker room. And so Derek Carr's probably, look, as much as we like Derek Carr, because he's really hard not to like, if you look at his numbers and his win-loss record, did they stick with him longer than they would have if he was Jeff George?
Yeah, there's so many factors that play into it, but that's why I think it's so fascinating in this league that things change faster than people realize in the NFL.
Grady says it's still wrong. Healed up Buck and others of the ODA and the AM. We're just the others. He says, I think the Cowher criticism of the trash Jeff Saturday hire is dead on. It's also a different criticism argument if Saturday is actually a good coach. He might be a good coach. But the way he was given the job is insulting to the process, the existing coaches and the coaching profession as a whole. If Saturday's building his resume with the help of his buddy, more power to him, but the goalposts continue to move for, quote, traditional, end quote, candidates, especially candidates that fall under the Rooney Rule. Enjoying the 5 inches in the village. Grady in Santa Fe by way of the University of Arizona.
I got 5 inches last night, Grady.
If he's feeling good this morning, he's in a good, happy mood. Best line ever on this show. Don't you think?
It was so good.
It was so good, and poor Julia just didn't know what we're talking about. Yeah, I got dusting the snow this morning. Snow up at your house. She's like, she was all perky and bubbly. She's like, and happy. I got 5 inches this morning. Oh, it was so good.
That's so funny.
Yeah, she was.
And everyone else is. Yeah.
Well, then she finally got it. And
she's like,
she turned to redder than a Lobo jersey.
Snow. Yeah.
Like, all right, atta girl. Yep. Good morning. All right, I'm going to read you Jason and all kinds of stuff. I'll set the tone for it. Where is it? I might have gone to the other page. Man, you guys are coming in big on.
It's Overreaction Monday, Joe.
No, and it's good. It's really good. About who New Mexico State's beaten. It says bonkers over beating a 1-8 FCS team. Yes, impressive. Very Maine-esque. Says so. Is anybody going bonkers over the Aggies winning? They've won 3 in a row. They beat New Mexico. They beat Massachusetts, and they beat Maine.
A win is a win,
right? Nobody's going bonkers.
Not going bonkers, but when you beat bad teams handily, that's a step forward for a bad team.
When those teams that were beating you, that's all. It's a step. I mean, for a team that was really, 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 really not good, they've now won 4 games this season, correct? Now, who have they beaten? I get it, but those were teams who were beating them. Jason's still wobbling in his shoes. That's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Line says, where'd it go? What the hell happened to here? It says, hey, Lobo fan poo-pooing the Aggie wins. You are one of the bad teams the Aggies beat. It was 21-9. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, Adrian. We're going to talk with Jerry Kill tomorrow. Winner of 3 games in a row. Good morning, OD. Win or lose, we wobble in our shoes, says Jason. And this weekend there was wobbling for Aggie Nation. After this weekend, Aggie football is now riding a 3-game win streak, going into a game which could become important for, dare I say it, bowl eligibility? What? I know it's a long shot. Missouri is an SEC squad with SEC athletes. But any given Saturday, they get past Mizzou. They have G5 independent Liberty. To be clear, the only thing G5 about Liberty is the jet Hugh Freeze uses to go recruiting, so they are G5 in name. It's nice to discuss possible bowl eligibility for the Aggies in November, even if it's a long shot. Meanwhile, Hoops got an education down at the West Texas School of Mines. The rivalry atmosphere was electric. Hoops has a long way to go, and Aggie Hoops is still waiting on a waiver for Kim Aiken Jr., but I am encouraged that Heyer and his guys will learn from this, move on, and be better. On to the next game. R.I.P. to Keystone as he crossed the Rainbow Bridge on Friday. Keystone is Pistol Pete's horse. Crimson Leaf. Jason. Look, let me just tell you something. Baby steps. You're a program. I think Global Fan would be thrilled to be riding a 3-game win streak over New Mexico State, Massachusetts, and Lamar right now.
Absolutely. Who doesn't want to win?
It's step by step. And now you look back at the season, who would you take right now, JJ? If New Mexico played Nevada right now, this week, who would you like?
Nevada.
Would you really? I'm not sure I would.
I trust nothing about this Lobos offense.
No, I said New Mexico State.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
And if I didn't say it, that's what I meant. New Mexico State
That's
or
probably
Nevada.
what you said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Aggies or Nevada.
Mexico State.
Yeah, I think I would too. FIU went on a little won 4 games. It's not like they were as bad as everybody told me they were coming in. But look, that's where it is. All right, let me give you as much as I can out of here. JJ sounds fresh. That bye week worked wonders. So when you were in the Springs, did you see renovation plans? They're going to tear down that upper deck and replace it with upgraded amenities and warm indoor seating. It's going to knock capacity down 20%, which is fine. Lobo fans need to take note. Those seats Davalos once added have been an albatross around the neck of the program for decades. Talk about this. Some of those seats have never been used. That's not right. Some of those have been sat in once in the last 20 years. Again, not right. So with all of the dough Santa Fe is handing out like leftover Halloween candy, University Stadium needs to be totally reimagined and downsized to the level Lobo football will going forward. It's from Ron. So there's some things I agree with and some things I just flat out don't in there. Is the reason UNM football is struggling because, what did he say? They closed in the north end zone? Is that the reason? It's Rudy's fault? Because they closed the north end zone and those seats, he says, are whatever. Do they need to redo that stadium? They do. It's an old 50-year-old stadium where everybody else is moving forward. But, I mean, the chicken or the egg thing, right? You're going to have to play the chicken or the egg thing. They need to knock down that whole tower on the west side, that whole press box, rebuild it. I know none of you like to hear that they should build suites, but they do need more premium seating. They just flat out do. You don't want to hear it because you think, oh, look what happened to the pit. It destroyed the place. It's kind of a different world. But they also need to upgrade. What would you think about putting in chair backs in the two sections, E and EE? So those are the middle, the 50-yard line sections.
Okay.
Chair backing those, maybe even chair backing the 3 middle sections. And then, you know, I was walking around the brand new stadium at Colorado State built. Like, they're not all chair. They have bleachers, but all their bleacher seats have backs on them.
Oh, cool.
Right? You know, the little bleacher backs? If you're going to stay with bleacher seating, I know it's an expense, but being able to that's a big deal, don't you think?
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal. You know, little things like that. Like, you know, everybody's got an end zone area. UTEP's got it. Air Force has one. In their, I believe that would be their south end zone. No, their north end. One of their end zones. They've got, you know, that end zone, kind of like the tent area used to be, a big party area, and everybody kind of hangs out and stands and has beers and watches the game field level. Colorado State's got it. It's sponsored by New Belgium Brewery. They've got, you know, another party area. Everybody's having fun, hanging out right there in that end zone. UNM built that building there, and so they've done away with that. So how can you replace that kind of atmosphere? And that was kind of a fun spot. So yeah, no, the email is interesting because the albatross isn't those extra seats. Tell me how they're hurting you. But now how do you make it, you know, more fun to be there? Oh, you win. Dan says no Juan Jose, no part-time, no. Now look.
Okay,
Dan's got to
schedule...
stop. I'm not.
Okay. It has nothing to do with like whether my show's happening or not. It's just other sports programming. So
sorry.
It's okay.
No,
no. It was. I know you weren't trying to. So weird though.
I know. Carl says the 4 horsemen, Jeff. Maybe Gonzalez can buy free remote controls like he did hot chocolate and coffee at women's soccer. With 8 minutes left, there was a 3rd and 7. Pattern with the horseman Wysong and horseman Porter. Instead, Lobo football throws a 2-yard pass to Trey Hall. Carl, the guy who's writing this thing, slams the remote down, just like McCarthy did with the headset, yelling, "Get the damn ball to the horseman," and pieces went flying everywhere. I need a new remote. It's Carl. Do you have horsemen on this team? Are Luke Wysong and Jordan Porter your horsemen? I mean, I imagine. Only throw to those guys, he said. Gopher says, don't forget about Thomas Patrick Brady. Jeff, he's quietly having maybe the best season of his career. The Bucks get freshened this week. Tampa Bay could make a run to the state tournament. You guys love Tampa, don't you?
I like them.
Okay.
I do.
I mean, okay.
I liked what I saw out of them defensively.
They're going to win games.
Smothered Seattle for 3 quarters.
They shut down Kenneth Walker. I was surprised by that. Bruce says, 5 out of the last 10, Jeff. Starting with the 2021 finale with Fearless Dougie, riding into the West Texas sunset in a generic polo shirt. After a dramatic 2021 season-ending victory, New Mexico State's playing 500 football. Is that right? They're 4 and 5? Yeah, that would make sense. So they've won 5 of their last 10. That's something for New Mexico State. Todd says, why we love this game, Jeffers. 2-2-7 clubs. Maine clinging to a 21-17 lead. But the Black Bears commit 3 critical fouls with 10 seconds left. The last, a pass interference with 0 on the clock. Sends Albany to the free throw line for 1 untimed down. The Great Danes connect in the end zone and their fans rush the court like they had just won the district championship. That's why we love this game. Why we Jones for football all summer. Tough loss for me. Black Bears got beat by the Great Danes.
Oof. Just outran him.
Just outran him. Rod says, huge smile on your face, Jefferson. Going to bed Saturday night as the Aztecs playing their best ball of the year. They look primed to beat Lobo football. How big does that late choke against Fresno State look now? Yeah, no, that was disgusting. San Diego State. Who's in line to win the West? No, it's Fresno, right?
Yeah,
Fresno came back on Friday night.
Looks good because they're still a very talented football team. They got a healthy Jake Haener.
So they're 5-1 in conference, and they beat San Diego State and they beat San Jose State. So they got a 2-game lead on everybody. They're done. It's in. They're in. Fresno State is going to play Boise State. Well, no, if Wyoming beats, that's the big game this weekend. It's in Laradice. So if it's 5 o'clock, it's going to be chilly. Fresno State has Nevada and Wyoming left. If Wyoming beats Boise State this weekend, is that impossible? In Laramie? Wyoming's finding ways to win games.
Not impossible.
I wonder what the spread is there. Wyoming's finding a way to win. But if Wyoming they beat Boise State, they go into that Fresno State game, and it might be them. They play them 2 weeks in a row because those two teams are going to be on the front line for championship game. San Diego State's currently 14.5 points favorite over New Mexico. Boise State 13.5 over the Pokes. Thanks to Danny Gonzalez, who was with us this morning. Local football coach Jim Rome show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then you get Monday Night Football tonight, correct?
Correct.
What do I got? I got
Commanders Eagles.
Yeah, NFC East. All right, great work. Enjoy your purple haze
Thank
today.
you. Keep hating, y'all.
Purple haze today. Adrian, great work today as always. Good to have you back. Glad you're feeling better. Safe travels down to Cruces. You're going to join us remotely tomorrow, right?
Yes.
From the Encanto or wherever you are. All right. Be safe. Be good to each other, please. We're back at 7 tomorrow. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you then.
If you want a business...
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashkin's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro. There's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escaped the first tackler. Breaks a tackle. Nothing but green. Rumbling. Stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6.
With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6 Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line is where this one will start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it! He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it!
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh, my goodness.